one of the best scenes, I'm going to say like in Halo period, is where he and Lasky are standing and looking out at Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Lasky's like, I mean, people talk about soldiers like they're machines, but
She said that to me once.
we're just people. I wish he never said that.
You don't want him to say that?
No, I could see it in his face already.
The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they boot up their consoles and discuss this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the library, the show where we talk about Halo lore. I'm Austin.
I'm Shane.
And we're talking about Halo lore.
Connor's gone.
Again. If you could please start spamming in comments / here live in chat. Connor said I'm Connor in chat. Oh my gosh. If you could just please start spamming in comments and in chat, I'm Connor. Just to fill in that gap for us. Very much would appreciate it.
You said you're late. That's who you are.
There we go. Now Connor is fully brought to life here to us. So I appreciate you guys. My friends, we're here to talk about Halo 4. None of you will know why that's funny, but it is.
I was like, I know it's coming. It's just a matter of when.
Can't talk about it without going back to that. I will never forget the first piece of content we ever made. I should really just re-upload that no context one day.
I don't even think I was 12.
Well, no. I was 12 because it was December 2012. So I was 12 years old. Yeah. Ow. No wait. If it was December 2012, then I would have been 13 because my age follows the years.
I was in eighth grade.
Yeah.
So I mean, we both were in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Before it came out.
Yeah. So you would have probably been 14.
No.
But you're a Boulder.
I think that doesn't sound right.
It was December 2012. I don't know what to tell you. I was 13 years old. I was cringe.
Huh.
Yep. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway. And then there's Connor. just loud ass door upstairs. We're talking today about Halo 4 because there's a couple elements about it that have been just sort of ricocheting around in my brain for a little bit, and I gotta get it off my mind. I got a lot of stuff I gotta get off my chest.
Get it off.
That shirt says I'm your coach. I hate that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes it real obvious. Please fix your mic as necessary.
Move over a little bit also, so we're not just hitting your side profile.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that in the chat.
We did.
Only late by 2 minutes.
Rogue said about
could have been a whole lot longer. You know, if I didn't
said,
stall.
Bro, I was 24 in 2012. Okay, Unk.
Unk. All right, so there's a couple reasons why I wanted to go back and talk about Halo 4 today, because there's a couple elements of it that I've just hated some conversations that I've had recently that have really exposed how much there was like a missing of the mark. And there was mostly conversation happening in the book club this past Saturday where we were kind of just comparing and contrasting what Halo is right now and what it could have been if it had gone down a different route, the route that was sort of teased in a couple different pieces of concept art and stuff. So we're just gonna talk about that for a little bit, mostly just me trying to convince these guys that it should have been different. But
I mean, you don't have to convince me. I think there's some things it could have done differently, but I also think it did a lot of things very well.
I would say Halo 4 is probably the least played Halo for me.
Other than
that was his 2 cents.
That's also not true. Oh well, okay. You played Halo Infinite's multiplayer, so I was thinking like, bro, he's never played Halo Infinite's campaign, but I guess the multiplayer, yeah.
I've played played a good amount of the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I still gotta do the campaign, which you guys have not sold to me at all.
You can play it and enjoy it and have fun with it. Like it's not horrible.
And also, if you do listen to what we say, we're not saying Halo Infinite's campaign isn't worth playing. We're saying that it's...
I also don't think it's bad. I just think missed opportunity is the way to describe it.
Now, Halo 5's campaign is the one that I will completely
That's
ride.
the one
that one is bad.
Yes, that is one that I will genuinely say is not a good
And you should only play it on easy with other people in the lobby with you.
Just to have fun.
Yes, and just pay attention to the cutscenes-ish a little bit. That's
good. It's there for lore. Just pay attention for the lore aspect of things.
But before we get into all that, JumperScape.com if you want to get plugged into our community as well as find ways to support us. We have a new YouTube video that just dropped on the JumperScape YouTube channel. That is the continuation to the fan game, not series. It's going to be that second video and that's it. So
Ooh, I've got to watch that.
it's a good one. I like it. I did it. I cooked.
When did it drop?
Someone cooked here.
2 hours ago.
Yes,
that's
2
why
hours
I
ago.
didn't see it. I was just starting my drive.
You should have watched it on the way here.
I didn't know it was out.
Well, that's a good reminder then, Connor, that folks need to hit that bell so you get notifications.
Steve, that is a very good statement. I agree wholeheartedly.
What do you say?
A game can very much be not the game you wanted, but still be plenty fun.
That is true.
I think that is also very good.
That is true.
I'll probably play the campaign once at some point.
We're gonna have to. We'll
Maybe-
play.
It'll probably just be a co-op.
We gotta
Yeah.
play with you. We gotta play it with you.
Yeah. Mostly for the content.
Yes. We'll take
Content farming me, I see.
Bros on the Halo podcast right now and hasn't played the most recent Halo game.
Now,
Someone's got to do it.
coupling with everything that that we're bringing up right now, tune into the library on Mondays because we're doing the show live in the Discord now, and we have a whole stage channel set up for folks to tune in and pop in the live chat. That's why we're going to be making references to people saying stuff that aren't actually here. So just another reminder on that one.
We're not just talking to the walls
This time.
this time.
This time.
Sometimes there's random voices coming from the ceiling. I don't know.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Indeed. And otherwise, one last major update. Thanks to our friends at Scion Esports and all of the efforts that have been made by the team here and by them in particular, Stories from Waypoint is now going to like bi-weekly instead of monthly. So we're getting 2 episodes a month now as opposed to 1 episode a month, which means not this week. Next week is going to be The Third Life, which is the story from Ilsa Zane. Super stoked about that one, guys. I'm very excited about it.
Hey, I would be excited too if the amount of content got doubled.
I'm excited about that. I'm not excited about Third Life, but I am excited about the interpretation of it because I think we can cook because we're going to, I mean, it's tied into Hunt the Truth, so we can have some fun with the sound design. But aside from that one.
Batman, who are you calling that? who are you referring
Ilsa Zane. Do you remember Ilsa Zane from Hunt the Truth?
I think.
And she's a rogue Spartan.
Yeah.
She's a Spartan. She's
I
strong.
remember. I
She
remember.
is physically stronger.
I remember.
Than most, like almost all Spartans, because she got this special augmentation that made her skin.
Listen, it's very hard for me to forget about Hunt the Truth, considering like that's what we listened to on the way to Outpost Discovery.
Say,
That was great.
Say I know more about Elsa Zane than you.
That's true. He does.
Yeah. Next, Austin.
Well, that's the thing, Connor. You actually know all of this stuff, and you've been playing up this character for quite a while.
How about
that
Shane
you don't
and
know.
Palmer? Hey, Rogue,
yeah, all
keep
of it.
talking. You're spitting facts.
I mean, last week that's what I was saying.
How
Because there
about
was someone.
Shane and Palmer?
There was someone on.
I'm with it.
I'm currently reading 3 books at once. I turn the page on one, go to the next book. Turn the page on that, go to the next book, and then
Yep.
come back to the first one.
I know. We just have to really we got to keep that lower because, dude, I have to be the center, my guy.
Yeah, trust me, I got you.
The second one, by the way, is going to be Anvil Accord, and that one I'm actually really excited to do because that one is all about the special Anvil station that has teams made up of duos of elites and Spartans tied into each other's unit. So, really good time on that one. But all that aside, that's pretty much everything. Halo Lo-Fi as always. I will always promote it because I love that show so much. It's such a great time. So, Halo 4.
The fourth.
Halo the 4th.
The 4th installment of Halo.
I don't think that's.
It's not.
The 4th installment of Halo is hilarious, actually. So,
Yeah, there's a few wars in there.
And Reach.
and ODST,
And
can we
ODST,
not
and
ignore
ODST.
that?
I was going back.
It's taking forever to get there.
Oh, I
really
got
reached
there.
out with that one, all right?
No, Shane, no.
I quit.
So the whole conversation of Halo 4, what happened this past Saturday, essentially the conversation happened because we were talking a bit about, it was tying into, like, I don't know how we got onto it, honestly, but we were kind of talking about, because last week's assignment was just play a Halo 3. Because we've been going in the book club, we've been going from chronological order, so we've played through a lot of stuff, and we've read through a lot of stuff, watched a lot of shows and movies and such. And now we're finally at Halo 3. We finally wrapped that up, and now we're on to the next thing, which is another short story. And somehow in the conversation about Halo 3 and its writing and stuff, we eventually got to the characters and when they've hit their peak and what made that game so different. Because we were trying to talk about how Halo 3, despite it having really poor writing in some cases, is still an excellent ending to the trilogy. Because Halo Combat Evolved kind of on-ramps you onto the franchise real nice and gentle, like nothing too crazy. Halo 2 throws everything at you to get you up to speed on like the cinematic universe of Halo.
The difference in writing and storytelling from Halo CE and Halo 2 like needs to be studied. The difference could not be like any more prominent. It's so different.
Thank you, Joe Staten. And then Halo 3, which has really poor writing in comparison to Halo 2, has the best like climax with everything from Halo 2 carrying over into Halo 3. The differences in characters and the differences in writing quality is sort of made up for the fact that it's just so much fun. It is just nonstop action, huge action set pieces. You're almost never alone.
That's why I say like I think Halo 2 has the best story, but I still think Halo 3 has the best campaign.
Yeah, because Combat Evolved likes to put you alone for like half the story. Halo 2 puts you alone most of the time. And then Halo 3, you're almost never alone. You almost always have someone with you on your side fighting alongside you.
I think the only time you don't is in like Cortana.
And even then, Arby shows up at the very end.
At the end, he's there. Yeah, I think that's the only mission you're genuinely alone.
Just completely.
Up until the end.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think that's about... Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's literally just the 3/4 of Cortana, you're alone, and that's about it.
3/4, you say?
3.
So we got into the conversation topic of when we were talking about the mission Cortana, actually. We were kind of talking about Chief's relation to Cortana.
Okay.
And we were kind of discussing how his obsession with her from 5 and Infinite doesn't entirely make a whole lot of sense. And it comes off a little weird.
Well, we mentioned this like, oh gosh, this is maybe like a month or two ago, that for whatever reason, especially in Halo 4, like at the end, like they kind of like romanticize her and Chief. And like Halsey is the closest thing Chief has ever had to a mother, and Cortana is a spitting image of Halsey.
Yep.
So why are you guys romanticizing?
It's not supposed to be.
I mean, it definitely. There's no.
It was made worse in Halo 5 and Halo Infinite.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they kind of doubled down on it, which I'm like is kind of odd.
It is.
But I mean, I don't know, that ending scene in Halo 4, like in me in middle school when I first like see her like touch his chest plate and she's like, I can't tell you how long I've waited to do that. I'm sitting there, my jaw's like on the floor. I'm like, is this happening?
To be fair, I kind of the thing is that I can see how that could be misinterpreted, but with the context of
I don't know if I was misinterpreting.
No,
it.
with the context of the scene previously, where they're still on the Infinity, and she goes, I can tell you all the different calculations on how that's a sun, but I can't tell you if it feels like a sun. I can tell you why it's a son. I can't tell you that it is.
Steve says, to be fair, Chief did know his real parents, so Halsey isn't totally a parental stand-in. For the most part, he's known Halsey more than he's longer than he's known his real parents.
He also doesn't remember them.
Yes, he was young.
Like he knows he had them. He can only remember a silhouette. He can't remember their faces.
No,
I had parents.
Well, he came from somewhere.
I vividly remember that one time I had parents.
Chief didn't just spawn in.
Are you sure about that? It feels like every mission he does that.
You know, there's an argument that we brought up before that the respawning system in Halo is canon.
I hate that theory.
Oh, I don't like that.
You want to know why? Like that's like a little bit of merit.
No way.
Like the tiniest bit of merit.
I don't like that.
Why is there a respawn effect? What's happening?
The Forerunners.
This is like reincarnation or something
there's
like that.
a concept since Halo has played with time before that you're getting sent back in time. so that it plays out the way that it has to.
Oh my god.
So Chief's trial and error is genuinely him going through trial and error.
So he is just living through Groundhog Day.
That's kind of it until he wins.
Yeah.
That's that was that random fun theory. But
You ever watch Rick and
Fat
Morty?
Batman says, "I will jump into an act." Whoa, you guys said a lot. What has happened? is there a debate going on?
Okay, so we're talking.
I think everyone's going after what's his name for saying that like Chief did have actual parents, and everyone's like, well, Halsey is more of a parental figure than anything, and I think everyone's just like, why? Everyone's just crashing out.
That's a pretty rough parental figure.
I think we just generally have to assume that Chief is not into anybody. He has a slight affinity for Linda, and that's the only thing that we get in the novels.
All right, my oversized child to battle.
So Chief is not interested in anybody except maybe Linda a little bit without him knowing. Everything else, he has no inclination towards anything. He never makes any mention.
And that surprises me, especially with Linda. Just like the fact that he even like knows that some type of like attraction and emotion can exist, considering he's literally just rip and tear.
And that's the thing. He doesn't really understand what it is about Linda that stands out to him.
So he has feelings for her, but he probably just doesn't recognize that he does.
Genuinely, it's kind of like whenever you're first going through like puberty and you're like, why am I feeling this way about let's say like a girl that I've grown up with, that I'm suddenly like, I'm noticing things about her I wasn't noticing before.
So Chief is just an uncle who hit puberty late, pretty much.
I mean, it's kind of what Spartans went through. They got kind of delayed and all that because of the
augmentation, all the chemical
process.
imbalance in their body.
But it's not impossible for Spartan 2s to have interest, and it's definitely not impossible for Spartan 3s to have interest because we have solid evidence of that one. But
what do you mean by that?
we have solid evidence. But aside
Chief, pretty late bloomer. Yeah, bro.
So aside from that, when we're talking about Chief as a character in relation to Cortana, the conversation that's happening here is mostly in relation to, is Cortana's involvement in the story holding it back?
I mean, are we talking about Halo 4? Or are we talking about Cortana's role with Halo 4?
Just this one moment, we're talking about Cortana.
Okay.
Because basically over the course of the conversation on Saturday with Book Club, one of our members, Guyver, we love Guyver. He had a interesting stance that I've actually not heard before, and I was loving debating it, where he said that Halo's formula doesn't work without Chief and Cortana. It has to be Chief and Cortana.
I was just about to say.
There are two games that say otherwise. I don't agree with that necessarily.
Halo 5 and Halo Infinite still have Cortana in it.
No, I'm not talking about those two. I'm talking about Reach and ODST.
But no one played those.
That's not true. that is deliberately untrue.
I was about to say.
I think Halo ODST and Reach
What were you
are
about
both,
to say?
For the third time now. Say, how much of the story does not happen without Cortana?
That's the thing, is that all of it happens because of Cortana.
Yeah, like you take Cortana away.
The thing with Reach and ODST is that it's offshoots.
Exactly. So you don't need Chief and Cortana. But granted, Cortana's in Reach, but I mean, she's got maybe what 20 seconds of screen time. Whoop-de-doo.
He's talking. What we're talking about is mainline. Like if you're talking about the mainline story.
If you're talking, then I mean, yeah. I think I'd probably agree.
But that's the thing. Do you? Because Cortana, from my perspective, did nothing but hold back the story of 5 and Infinite. Because it has to be revolved around her.
Yes, but I blame the poor writing for how it was executed. I don't have an issue with Cortana being like the main focal point of Halo 5, but I think it was done very poorly.
The thing is about the if the writing was better stance.
I don't know what direction they could have went.
That's the problem, is that what is the right path?
I still think Jul 'Mdama probably should have been the main bad guy of Halo 5.
Definitely.
I think Halo is at its best when it's just like humanity, alien faction, possible third alien faction. I think it was just a little odd that like Cortana was like the main bad guy in that game. I didn't dislike the idea, and I don't have any ideas or I'm not a writer by any means, but I don't know exactly what direction they could have went with that.
There's a very simple answer, to be honest.
Let's hear it.
So what I argued against that whole point, that we need Cortana, was it's not that Chief needs Cortana, it's that Chief needs companionship. He needs a companion in the story. In Halo 3, Cortana's gone for pretty much the entire campaign.
Up until like the last 2 missions.
Yeah, who does he have in place?
RB Johnson.
RB and Johnson. They don't talk
Miranda,
a whole lot.
Maybe.
Like, they don't talk a whole lot to each other, but their presences are felt.
Yeah.
And so when we're going into Halo 4 and Halo 5 and all this other stuff, like, the companionship is found still in other characters as well. In Halo 4, one of the best scenes, I'm going to say like in Halo period, is definitely the scene at the very end of the game where he and Lasky are standing and looking out at Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Lasky's like, I mean, people talk about soldiers like they're machines, but
She said that to me once.
we're just people. I wish he never said that.
You don't want him to say that?
No, I could see it in his face already. I didn't have to see it. Like, I could see it behind the faceplate. I could feel his thoughts.
Okay, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of agree.
Mm-hmm. Because he just spelled it out like I'm a child.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, they were trying to make, like, Chief was this green guy who doesn't talk much, who kills everything. Like, Halo 4, they really tapped into, like, his emotional and they made him very, very human, which, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of. I like what they did with Chief in Halo 4. I like they made him feel human.
Yeah.
But in that scene, I think it would have hit a lot harder if he just didn't say a thing.
I think a lot of stuff would have hit a lot harder. Like, I'm not saying he should have been the one, you know, the quippy wonder that he is in the other games. But in Halo 4, his dialogue increased by 20 times, basically. He went from Halo 3 to barely saying anything to Halo 4 saying something every other second.
Steve Downs just wanted a bigger payday.
he wanted to be more involved with the character. That's why he loves Halo 4.
I
mean, do you blame him at that point?
No, not him. Not even a little bit.
No.
Let me speak.
And let me speak to the people, Piccolo.
No one is stopping you.
Cortana pops up. No one's stopping
no one
you.
Is stopping you. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's definitely some scenarios, and I honestly couldn't. I'd have to play Halo 4 again. It's been a good while.
This is the issue, right? We'll come back to the direction that it could have gone. The misuse of Chief as a character stemmed from Halo 4 not being taken seriously for the future games. Because what we get after that is very little in terms of Chief's expansion, and actually kind of a regression, especially in the terms of Halo Infinite.
So you just think they saw Halo 4 and saw some of the feedback on it, and you think they backtracked too much rather than building off what they established in Halo 4?
Well, I would generalize it by just saying they backtracked, but that's just the general 3-4-3 answer.
That's they backtrack too much. That's the thing. They take criticism. I think they handle criticism well, but they overexert themselves when it comes to adjusting to said criticism, and they overdo it when adjusting.
Yep.
Like the gameplay video you and James have of the Halo 5 beta looks completely different.
Oh, the sword is too bright? Turn it off.
Yeah, you've seen the video, haven't you? The beta video. That was legitimately a complaint.
I know it's why.
Okay, I was going to say,
you guys talking about it.
The sword. Well, a lot of it was the sword was too bright, but the lighting was dark. That's the thing.
I thought it was great.
No, it looked good.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah, and your Spartans didn't look like literal Power Rangers in Halo 5.
They matched the lighting really
well.
Yes,
I think Halo 5 in the beta looked so much better. I really, really do.
Halo 5 has the best beta.
No, I don't think that's true either.
Oh, what do you think is the best beta?
I don't remember the Halo 4 beta.
I don't think there was
There
one.
might not have been one.
Halo Reach had a pretty good one. It had a great marketing run
I
for
had
it.
a good time with I think Halo Infinite had the best one. I think Halo Infinite had a really fun beta.
You mean
we were in denial, like, oh, there's going to be more weapons at launch. This isn't all of it.
You're talking about like the insiders, or are we talking about like when the game
we played
launched?
What we played.
Right.
There was what we played and what we have. Like one of our very first Battle Dudes videos. That was the beta.
Yes.
So I think, in my opinion, I had a lot of fun with the Halo Infinite beta. I was just in denial about how much there was actually
it was just
going to be out. Yeah. They called it a beta. I'm like, why are you calling it a beta? Like, this is the finished product. Like, this is what you plan on having at release. It didn't make sense, but no. We're going into Halo Infinite again. Halo 4.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
Sold. Nothing.
So with the story of Halo Infinite and Halo 5, how it interacts.
Idiom, don't do it. No. Idiom, no. Rogue said no here.
Boy. So basically in Halo 4, we have a character of Master Chief who is just starting to understand a little bit more about his own humanity, because he's being forced to. Because humanity has moved on without him a little bit, and he's having to be more conscientious about how he handles warfare and how he handles his threats, because now there's a human element to him that's being explored by these characters who haven't seen him in a long time. He's a legend, but now they're seeing him in person and they're challenging him for that. Halo 5, Chief's whole thing about being human kind of just goes out the window. He's just obsessed with Cortana the entire campaign. There's nothing else to it.
What makes it even more, they give the implication that Cortana and Chief have been together for years. They have not.
No.
The entirety of the original trilogy, doesn't that like happen within like a very, very short amount? That happens within a very short amount of time.
It happens in about like 3 months.
Yes. Like less than half a year, and Chief
all
has,
of it happens in 1 year, yeah.
I mean, but the jump from Halo 3 to Halo 4, that's a substantial time jump.
Yeah, 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 years.
I'm like, oh no.
Was it
Chief did not just take a nap.
Isn't it like 4 years, 7 months, and 10 days? Isn't that what that is?
I mean, he could have taken a nap in 4 hours.
He could. So it's something. It was. I think it was roughly half a decade. Roughly. I was thinking like 7 years, but I think that's too long.
4 years, 7 months.
4 years. Correct, I was gonna say maybe that's where I'm getting the 7 from.
You know, AI deteriorate after 7, Chief, and she's going crazy.
Yes.
But yeah, the total time that they spent together was
not a lot.
No, it was about a grand total of maybe like a month.
And they were acting like they've been together for a very, 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 very. And they've been through a lot together. But
they have. That's the problem. That's why I don't like it. Is because it's trying to make Chief almost like adolescent in his perspective on this attachment to Cortana, like as if she's the only thing that he's got. There is actually a line in Halo Infinite that drives me up a wall. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Where it's the weapon says it, or it's Fernando, doesn't really matter. One of them asks him, like, don't you have any friends or something like that?
That's
like, don't you have anyone you care about?
I think that was Fernando.
And he was like, no. Blue team, dude! Like, you grew up with the Spartan 2s. They are your family.
Is there an audio log that that leaves like their fate like uncertain? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe like the implication.
I love how we just read through all of them.
I don't remember if there was one in there.
There wasn't.
Okay.
They never addressed it.
I didn't know if there was like, maybe there was an implication that there was no one left, and for all he knows, Blue Team.
No idea where they are.
Or Lasky, or Locke.
They're supposedly just dead until further notice. Until the story decides to bring him back.
My point is maybe like that's his mindset, is that everyone's dead, and he's like, no one's left. Cortana's gone. Don't know where Lasky is, presumably dead. Don't know where Arbiter is, presumably dead or fighting off another war.
Coming soon in the next Halo novel.
That's the thing, is that open-ended answer
this is supposed to be about Halo 4.
And it is still, because Halo 4's characterization of Chief is smart.
I do think it's a little bit dumb that he was like, no. But I'd like to think that it's with the implication that they're MIA, that he thinks everyone is MIA or KIA. I think that might be his mindset.
If it is, I hate how many implications are in that game.
That's fair.
Point being.
That's fair.
So, Halo 5. Halo 5 has the worst campaign. So, there is a lot in that campaign that drives me up a wall. One of them being that Cortana is brought back at all. And one of those reasons is that, like, the only way that you can really make any sense of it is you have to really grasp the subtle storytelling that 343 did, which was that Cortana, when she says at the end of Halo 4, she's like, the rest of me is down there now. That's the one that's going to the domain, not her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the one, like, the fragments that are already going nuts are going into the domain, and they get restored and brought up, and Halo 5 is all about Cortana trying to seize power. Chief, the character that we knew from Halo 4 that was interested in exploring what it means to be a soldier, has completely gone off the walls and is basically just being a soldier unto himself.
He was so much better. He was so, like, his writing in Halo 4 was so much better.
Yeah, everything in Halo 4 is just...
I don't... In Halo 5, like, even when I got the... Maybe it's because we didn't get a lot of missions as Chief. You got more playing time as Locke than anything.
Yeah.
I did not... The lack of playing as Chief and the lack of Master Chief in the story was definitely bothersome, and I think that might have a little bit to do with my disdain towards his writing. It's just, he, like, unmemorable, this out of character. That's how he felt the whole game. It really is.
I know I've played the Halo 4 campaign. I don't remember any of it.
No, the thing about Halo 4's campaign is...
I think the campaign's really good.
It's one of those campaigns that's genuinely, like, Halo as a franchise doesn't have like not all of the campaigns I would say are worthy of that whole start it at midnight, play it until 6 a.m. treatment. Halo 4 is one of them. Because Halo 4 tries to take itself so very seriously in its storytelling, where you have a giant Voldemort-looking alien that is like 7'8"
that can use the Force.
Time was your ally.
and like the writing is on point. There's very Shakespearean elements to it, which is great for a space opera story.
I almost want to say it might be the best written Halo story after Halo 2.
Actually, there's a lot of people that agree with that, and I do too.
I think I didn't know if that was a hot take or not, but
No, it's really
I
not.
genuinely think Halo 4 has the best writing other than Halo 2.
No, it actually, like, a lot of people do consider it that way.
I'm not reading that, Steve.
I'm not either. So
Laird, don't necessarily disagree with
no,
you.
I don't disagree with that period, because the thing is with going back into the differences between the characters, one of the most annoying things about the direction is knowing you don't even really need to look into it that deep. You just kind of know they lost the plot super fast.
They lost the bloody plot.
They did, because like Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, they try to tell new stories with the characters that already have a plot going.
Okay. Story aside, if we want to really just talk about Halo 4 in general, whether or not it wasn't perfect, but you can argue with the wall if you want to debate whether or not that is not if you want to think that's not, like, that is the most complete 343 era Halo game. Everything was complete at launch.
Mm-hmm.
It was complete at launch.
And then it got better.
Yes, the Forge wasn't great. I'll say that much. The Forge wasn't great and the custom games weren't great, and I think that's ultimately what holds it back. But like, people are going to come back. Like, don't get me wrong, it's so important for Halo, but for me, what brings me back to a Halo game is a fun combat loop on multiplayer.
Halo 4's got that.
Customization. Halo 4 has the second best customization. Well, maybe third now.
What's really funny is Halo 4 actually has, like, in terms of options, better customization than Reach.
I still think Halo Infinite probably has the best customization.
But you wouldn't know it without the paywall.
Yeah, that's if you take away the paywall, you take away the codings, even though the codings are there, so you can't take it away.
And what are you left with?
I think Halo Infinite does have the best customization. I think the cross-core customization stuff is, whoever thought of that needs to be fired if they have not been already. But I know there was rumors about Halo Infinite being a hero shooter, and that might have something to do with the cores, and that, like, a heavy, a meta, a healer, kind of stuff.
Well, the people don't like that.
I would have been fine with that as a mode, but they tried to make that the base game.
Yeah,
they tried to make the game itself a hero shooter. You can't do that. If they made it Infinite, like, had a hero shooter mode, I don't think, like, it's something new. Try it.
I mean, they already had
a mode would be okay.
They were already doing the whole, like, preset core stuff.
Yeah,
so the kits or whatever.
I just you take that away, I do think Halo Infinite has the best customization. But after that, it's either Reach or 4. 4's customization, like, was very, very. They took what made Reach's customization good and they built on it. Whether you want to think the armor looks cool or not in Halo 4, that's preference. I don't think the armor looked terrible in Halo 4. I think there was plenty. You know, I was out there rocking my GameStop has-up pre-order bonus.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what I was running, and it was like a white and gray black, like, camo to it. I remember the way they advertised it. Do you remember the commercial for the has-up pre-order bundle?
Yes, I do.
It was two Spartans talk. I forget, it was a snow map, and there was two, like, brightly colored Spartans talking. And there was the has-up armor in the color was in the back in the wall, and then he came out, and I remember as a kid, I jumped out of my seat. I'm like, I didn't see him there.
And I would be like, I could take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, no, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
If anything, it was your aim assist would just, like, why is my aim assist tracking onto this wall right here? What's up? What's in this? Like, your aim assist would give you away. But yeah, the point that I wanted to make earlier, going away from, like, customization. Very big missed opportunity for Halo to not launch on next gen.
Yep.
Not launching it. The Halo 4 might be the best looking Xbox 360 game that was created. I firmly believe that. In my opinion, it was either that or Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 has not aged well on the Xbox at all.
No, but you can still go back and play Halo 4 just fine, and it still feels fantastic.
Well, I mean, I'm not even talking just feel. It's just like in Battlefield 3, just graphically, it just has not.
It's very.
It has not held up.
Yeah.
In Battlefield 3, you go on certain maps, and like you walk up on a mountain, you go up to a tree, the tree's like 2-dimensional.
Yeah, it's
and
doing that.
The trees like turn with you.
I forgot what
But
the
that's
actual.
like the edge of the map, though.
I don't no,
it's not. It's really not.
I'll show you.
Are we talking about Karg Island?
Yes.
Yeah, Karg Island.
That's not the end of the map. There's the main. There's like the first flag after you get off the cruiser. You go up the hill, and the trees are just like pixelated, 2-dimensional, and just like they follow you. And I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, this is breaking my immersion.
I threw it in my YouTube videos back then.
They had to optimize for the 360.
That's my point. It didn't age well. That's my. That's literally the point I'm making.
But Halo 4 had the same limitations and still looked superior.
A lot better.
I remember being impressed by Halo 4 back in the day.
Yeah, it was really, really good looking. And I agree. They should have held it back by a year just so that it can launch on MCC. Not MCC, but like on Xbox One. I don't know why they didn't make that the Xbox One launch. Because like reviving the franchise with a new console, you pick Halo 2 Anniversary, like it's kind of cool, but also Halo 4 was like the perfect game for that. But, you know,
Batman,
I'm happy with what we got.
Batman, you have a good point. Gears 3 also looked very good. Idiom says best looking, but best overall design, though. I was not a big fan of the art style change in Halo 4, but that's the thing, Halo 5 doubled down on it.
I think like Halo 4's design change was fine in the campaign.
I still didn't like the look of the Covenant. The only look for Covenant that I liked was the Jackal. I think Kigyars in Halo 4 and 5 looked scary.
He whipped out their legal name. You know
I
it's
did.
serious.
I think the Kigyar looked very, very cool, and the way they talk, they're genuinely scary. But they made the elites just bumbling idiots, especially in Halo 5.
Oh yeah.
I did. They again doubled down.
Throw
on it.
the Ungoy out the airlock.
I don't think Chief's. I think Chief's armor in Halo 4 looked good. I didn't like his visor. His visor was orange and not like a gold.
Yeah.
His visor was literally orange, and then in Halo 5, his armor almost looked black.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. They kind of got the visor a little bit better.
It was just the lighting a little bit off, basically.
Yeah,
they just screwed up the lighting.
That's why, like, if I tell people like I like his look in Halo 4 better, and they're like it's literally the same, I'm like not quite.
Not quite.
His coloring is off in his entirety in Halo 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, just imagine what Halo 4 probably could have done in terms of like graphical output if they launched it with the Xbox One. And that probably would have helped save the show that was the Xbox One's launch. The Xbox One got killed in terms of sales from the PS4.
Yeah.
Like all the Xbox turn on, Xbox stop watching me, all that stuff.
Stop watching me.
I've heard that.
Xbox shut down.
Yeah. Oh my! I still see people will play like with their Kinect mic. If you go on TikTok and people will go on Warzone, if they get proximity chat and they get an echo, they'll you'll be like Xbox turn off, and then you'll hear someone on proximity chat like oh and it's the funniest. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Hearing the Xbox shutdown sound was just icing on the cake.
If I can pull it back in real quick.
Okay.
There's something to address because what I'm trying to get at when I'm talking about Halo 4 and its characters is I'm leading up to what it could have been, like what this trilogy could have been. Because Halo 4 has this really annoying thing, and I've talked about it before. I'm still going to ride or die on this point that these three games, 4, 5, and Infinite, have nothing to do with each other. Barely have anything connecting each other as a thread. The only connective tissue is there is Master Chief and there was Cortana, and both of them are doing things. Chief, not so much. Cortana, yes, but Chief, not so much. And one of those elements that points out is Halo 4 ends on a very powerful note. We have this conversation between Lasky and Chief, and again, one of the best scenes in Halo, period. And then we have this speech from the Didact, who is supposedly dead. So why is the Didact speaking, and why is he saying things about how, the reclamation's already begun and all this stuff? Chief goes into the armor bay aboard the Infinity and gets his armor removed. And then Halo 5 opens with Chief longingly looking at his little Cortana slot on the back of his helmet. And I'm like, I get it, but that's not the Chief that I know. Because let's think about this, all right? I want to point out something to you. Chief never mourns anybody. Johnson died, And he didn't even zero reaction. Like he was.
I wouldn't say zero reaction.
He was just staring at him.
He was visible. Like you could tell he was bothered by what.
And then he
happened.
just got up, got back to work.
Well, yeah, the ring was exploding.
Indeed,
Could have shed a tear for all we know under the helmet.
When Cortana passed away, that was the first time we've ever seen him mourn anyone in an extended way. Everyone has died. Keyes died. He punched a hole in that man's face. Didn't even care. Miranda died. All right, that's an observation. Got it. Cool. Johnson died. I at least could say something here, but I won't. We're all good.
He just went.
And then
So he was visibly upset with Miranda as well. But the Prophet of Truth was literally 5 steps behind him, so he had business to handle.
I know, it's just, there's not even dialogue. There's nothing afterwards. There's no cutscene. There's nothing of him...
You also stated earlier that you felt like there were times, especially with On the Bridge with Lasky, where it would have been better if he didn't talk. What would you have... I think that's the same. Like, why would he talk there?
Because Halo 4 had too much dialogue. The original trilogy didn't have nearly enough.
Yeah, but it's almost like the same situation, like if not more intense. Like Cortana is gone, and you would have preferred him not to say anything at that moment. But but with Johnson and Miranda, you'd like him to say something.
Following Cortana's death, we held on Cortana's death for about solid 25 minutes while the game was ending.
Yeah.
In Halo 3, Johnson's death happens, and then we move on in 5 minutes. And we have to just, as players, we are getting affected by it.
Yeah.
But because of that, Chief as a character doesn't. Because of the whole Bungie's We Are Master Chief thing, which I go back and forth with whether or not I actually like. And in this case, I don't. Because I reacted very, very poorly. I was a child, and I felt like I lost somebody. But because of that, Chief didn't react at all.
I think a lot of it is because of the situation he was also in. The ring is literally imploding, and you have X amount of time to get in the Warthog and drive.
So when he gets out of the cryopod, he just never mentions Johnson by name ever again.
Now there you kind of
He's never mentioned Keyes. He's never mentioned Miranda. He's never mentioned Johnson.
Hey,
he doesn't even mention Arbiter.
Yeah.
Never mentions anybody that he's lost.
I mean, in books, he mentions Arbiter a few times.
I will kill you.
I'm making a valid point.
we hate books doing plot things in this room.
We do, but he does. You're preaching to the choir, and it's so funny that I'm the one to mention that
because I'm ignoring it.
Yeah, no, right.
What if Chief was just like this under the helmet? Look at the. That's why he was silent. Sorry, audio only people.
So that's the thing, right? The reason why I'm bringing it up is because we don't get Chief mourning for just the end of Halo 4. We get Chief mourning for the next 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't care that long.
Yeah.
Cortana was a character that I would have thought her loss would have hit a whole lot harder if, like what I was bringing up earlier, we stuck on to Chief's humanity. And we got that as a thing. And Blue Team became the characters that he had to now reference off of. He now had to bounce off of their character as opposed to a blue lady in his head that calls him Stud Muffin.
I mean, it's been well over 10 years since Halo 4 came out. It's just
He's still obsessed with her.
Yeah, I'm like, let's. I mean, in real time, yes, it's been 10 years. In the games, it has not been. But yeah. Maybe get on with it a little bit. I hope now that Chief has, the little blue girl voice inside his head again
that calls me Stud Muffin.
I hope that they can kind of move along with the Banish now and don't have as much of an emphasis on Cortana. Unfortunately, I think there's still going to be in the next Halo game, regardless. But I'm hoping now that Chief has the closest thing, a literal Cortana clone, but I think that's going to be an emphasis. In the next Halo game, she's like, they'll pair you with another Cortana model. They'll pair you with another AI, maybe even another Cortana model. It won't be me. You know that, don't you? And I think that might start playing in his head in the next Halo game. And if they do, I'm going to rage because I think it's going to become a problem. And it's just it was already a problem in Halo Infinite because he tried to literally delete her after saying he wasn't gonna, just randomly try to do it. And it just became a whole nother thing. Yeah, I just hope they kind of drop it and move on with, humanity versus alien faction.
To quote a certain enemy type that has a point in this case, This is humanity's best.
This is triggering.
Brother is the best Spartan we have, and he's a simp. Now, here's the thing. I know the connection is that he's supposed to it's supposed to be like a motherly sort of figure, not a relationship thing. But they're definitely blending the lines here with how much this guy really wants her back. But so here's the thing. I want to end off on this note, is that Chief and kind of everything that has to happen with these characters gets lost in translation when we go from game to game. Because Halo 4, we have this setup of humanity is on its back foot. The only reason why it has an advantage is because they finished the Infinity. The Infinity is the now basically capital ship of the humans. We don't know how big their fleet is. We just know that this one ship can body an entire Covenant fleet. They finally have an advantage despite having, just come out of a war that devastated most of their planets and their resources are low. So Halo 4 is starting off, humanity is desperate. Del Rio, say what you want to say about him. His reactions are realistic because they have limited resources. They have limited time. They just found a Forerunner planet, yet another potentially galaxy-ending threat, and they got to get through it. So Chief trying to kind of talk like they have their assets the same way that they did whenever he was awake 4 years earlier is not the situation that they're in. And then Halo 5 pulls up. And we're back to a galaxy-ending threat again with Cortana, a universe-ending threat by that point with Cortana coming back. And the humans are now majorly powerful, and so are the Covenant. So they both are hugely powerful enough to take on the Prometheans, which I don't even think the UNSC at the height of their power in Halo 3 or 2 would have been able to handle the Prometheans, so I don't know where their sudden power, despite being the end of the war, came from. And then there's the philosophical understanding and the humanity understanding that came with Halo Infinite. That Chief cares a lot about people. He cares a lot about individuals and beings, but won't even take a moment to hear the Harbinger out. Is just basically the Harbinger being like, I wish to bring back my race because they were horribly mistreated by the Forerunners.
No.
She's like,
That's crazy.
No.
I don't remember asking.
Yeah, right.
That could just be his trauma manifesting.
I don't... Chief is not a trauma baby. He's the
he's not.
greatest Spartan we've ever had.
Exactly. And he's like, oh, there's a crazy alien that I've never seen before. I'm going to shoot it.
But he's not supposed to. He's able to hold his fire. He's a Spartan. He's not a mindless killing machine because Halo 4 said he's not.
The Harbinger.
But
begs
now
to
he is
differ.
again. Sorry, what?
I said the Harbinger begs to differ.
Yeah, because that's the
Connor
big.
doesn't even know who the Harbinger
That is
is.
what
Has
I'm
not-
leading up to. This is
have
what
to
I'm
play
leading up to.
Halo
I
Infinite.
need to hark on this.
They put the Harbinger in some of those raids that we did.
Oh,
Think of it.
that's right.
Just think about this for a second. Halo 4 ends with soldiers aren't machines. Halo Infinite, enemy, 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 kill, kill, murder, kill. He has no humanity left in Halo Infinite.
Up until the end with Escharum, but then that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
I don't like how
he was just a soldier.
No, he
No.
killed millions of people.
you weren't merciful to the prophets. You shouldn't be merciful to him. You should have kicked his corpse while he was down. I didn't like the fact that he caught him and was sorry for the spoilers, Connor, but the game's been out for 4 years at this point.
Because
I'll probably forget.
that's the thing. There's those shining moments that are supposed to be look, Chief has humanity. Look, he's saying
We all make mistakes.
the most basic lesson you could learn. Look, he's saying those things. Look, he's saving some Marines. Yeah, he's done that his entire career.
That's his job.
This is quite literally what he does. He's just trying to save humanity. Everything that has to do with Halo 4 and how they were building up Chief to be this character that was much more interested in displaying elements of humanity despite being raised in such a way where he was told basically to give up his humanity gets completely tossed out when we get to Halo Infinite. And it sucks because I genuinely believe that we could have had something much more special had we had this opportunity for Halo 5 to be the way that it was originally supposed to be. The initial pitch that people have heard rumored back and forth for years now, with the Didact being half composed, half digital being, and he's now basically the Emperor Palpatine of the story. He's not in Halo 5. but there might be, and like there was this whole thing of like Cortana's in it, but it's not Cortana. It's a puppet. It's not actually her. There's Jul Mdama, but he's just a puppet too. He's secretly working for the Didact. And then Halo Infinite, or whatever Halo 6 was going to be, was going to have the Didact come back and be like, you know, I've controlled all of this. You thought you defeated me. You thought you did all of this. And the Didact would have been brought back into the games for a solid climax, holding on to what Chief was doing, which was trying to figure out his humanity. And thus, when you finally fight the Didact, you have this pinnacle of understanding of what humanity is and what the strengths are versus the Didact, who unequivocally believes that the Forerunners are the pinnacle of all beings. So then you have this not just diametrically opposed foes, but you have this philosophy battle that could have happened, but instead, my girlfriend. I hate it here. I'm going to play Halo 4 tonight. I don't know. Do you have any final thoughts? That was it. That was all I was leading up to.
No, that's I think we covered most of the basis. Last thing that I want to say, I don't think Halo 4's multiplayer was that bad.
Was it?
My main thing with Halo 4's multiplayer, if they got rid of the loadouts, if you got like I don't like loadouts. If you take, but there's a mode on MCC that has no loadouts. You can just play. It's BR and AR starts. It is a fun multiplayer experience. It is not bad.
Yes.
What was the Halo where I was just looking around for the sound design? And
Halo
how-
4.
Halo 4?
I thought
Halo
so.
4 also has, in my opinion, the best sound design of any Halo.
That was going to be my piece. Yeah.
Why'd they make the Magnum sound like a pea shooter, though?
And the BR sound like crickets. Yeah, but everything else sounds really cool.
Connor, what are your final thoughts on Halo 4?
Game look good and sound good.
We got to play the campaign. I'm going to play, like, somewhere in here, I'm just going to play one of the soundtracks, because there's one particular soundtrack. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but if you ever get a chance, Connor, I don't know how much, I don't know in terms of your musicality, if you're interested in, like, game soundtracks and such, or cinematic soundtracks and composition and such. Is that, like, in your taste every now and then, where you're like, yeah, I'm going to listen to the entirety of the Bayformers soundtrack?
No.
Well, if you ever do...
Turbo Furby says that Halo 4 AR rips. In my opinion, it was the best AR until Halo Infinite.
Until
came
Halo
out.
Infinite, absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
I still hate the assault rifle. I don't care what anyone says.
But yeah, it's sort of just topping it off here. Halo 4 had a clear direction, and it was so obvious because the soundtrack was wonderfully put together and obviously had design put into it that was leading towards opening up the mystery of Halo again, like Halo Combat Evolved did. I've said it before that one of the reasons why Halo 4's soundtrack works so well is because it mimics the idea that Halo Combat Evolved had, where there's a mystery element. Master Chief was being set up to gain this new understanding of humanity. He didn't walk into the game with an understanding of humanity and what it actually is. He only walked in wondering how to survive in an element of surprise moment where he's now fighting Forerunners and fighting the Covenant yet again. There was that setup that was then tossed aside. We had the setup of Cortana and her arc finally being completed, where the one time you can't save her, and that one loss would have set up the next two games perfectly fine. You have the introduction of characters like Lasky, who got a whole movie as his backstory, and his character in Halo 4 is excellent. The shot of him walking down this corridor with soldiers behind him in Spartan Ops really establishes like how effective he was as a captain. He has this intimidation factor despite him being so friendly.
Sounds like it would have made a great book.
Well, Spartan Ops Season 2 became a comic series, so... But anyway, all of this stuff was set up, and then it was rather just tossed aside, I suppose, because... They couldn't really pull it off, I guess. It was just a little too much. So, I don't know. I can't make any assumptions as to why they shifted so hard, but it hurts a lot. Because of all the moments in this franchise where I've been like, what could have been, what if, Halo 4 and what it could have become is up there. Like, Halo 5 and Halo Infinite soundtracks are cool and all. Halo 4 had a theme. Halo 4 told a story with its soundtrack. Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, they were trying to overcorrect again. People being like, oh, it's not the original soundtrack. They just took it seemed that every time that someone would complain, we have to change it. We can't let people be upset. And then you do that, and then people get upset because you changed it. So this is why you just pick an audience and make the game for that audience. And so long as that audience is satisfied, who cares about the other audiences? You made it for your audience. You have to just kind of risk making people upset when you're making it for that one audience that you want to please. That's all that I'm saying. Anyway, go play Halo 4.
Do it.
You won't. Play it on Legendary.
Nah.
It's not that hard.
The weapon tracking is bad. Not as bad as Halo 5.
Not nearly as bad as
No,
Halo 5, because
no.
there's only a little bit of tracking in Halo 4. Halo 4's biggest problem is the knights and weapon ammo. But that's,
ammo is the biggest.
just punch people in the back, dude. Come on.
Yeah, ammo. They give you very, very little ammo in Halo 4. I feel like I'd burn through my AR in like 20 seconds.
Because it blows.
No. Whoa.
It really doesn't.
No.
But anyway, with that all being said, that's kind of that's it. That's it.
That's the show.
No.
Not yet.
There's still a Patreon segment where I'm going to be doing a Starscream impression, I guess, by popular demand. I don't know.
Welcome to the club
You're going to...
of screaming.
Oh,
I
I was
gonna say,
like, you're
what?
going to do a Starscream? Are we going to do a
No.
Starscream off?
No.
Scream off.
But anyway, my friends, if you enjoyed today's conversation, if you have your own thoughts on Halo 4 and the entirety of the story, which there's a lot to talk about, feel free to either comment on the YouTube video, comment on the Spotify, or just pop into our Discord and pop into general chat or Let's Talk Halo, and let's talk about the episode today. You can go to JumperScape.com to get plugged into our Discord or find ways to support us. And otherwise, my friends, I think we'll just see you next week with whatever topic we're bringing next. Maybe we should just bring the board games out.
Maybe.
Thank you so much for listening. Stick around for the Patreon segment if you're going to be a part of it. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. You keep doing that to me. I'm not doing any setup. $150 tier starting off with its default 456 Scion Esports Dark Side of 42 from ongoing Nipple Academy wrought into only grunts. Hounds of Meath, Noah Willette. Nope, can't say this one. Shane, that was the name of the guy, by the way. Nope, can't say this one.
That was legit his name.
That was his name. That's his username. Nope, can't say this one.
He said it.
Shane singular last FU key.
That's my last singular.
Oh, come on.
It says to do the M key.
It does. It's cutting itself off. The one, the only, Dick Hammerbush. Yeah.
I'm doing it quick today. I'm tired.
People driving on like someone listening to this like at 5:30 in the morning. They're just like, Dick Hammer. Yeah, and they're just like,
I swear, if it causes an accident, I'm not liable.
Cool Blaze H Ghost Drum with the chair sparring G156 Stable Unstable Connor Clark Dylan James is proud saying Healy father-in-law.
you finally want approval, James.
He doesn't have approval. He's just proud.
He's not here for this moment, unfortunately.
Jimmy's here though to take that. John Dowsett lactating Gator lactating with milk MT lumpy bumpy ongoing nipples. Hate that. Thank you. This username is wild. I think that says macabre cobwebs, which is pretty funny. The Lactation of Mercy, Thomas Lane, Sky, Cairo, Durandal, Ava, Flyboy Pfeiffer. I cheat on Halo for Dune Awakening. Very valid. That game is fantastic. Jake Samelli, Lone Blaziken. My name is Austin. Puppy Monkey Baby, Hive Mind. Random Speed, Shake Communications, Slab Nuts, the Lactators have returned. The Big Moose, Zell Lactation, Tika Vatamai, Aussie ODST, Black Ops Cold War looks at Black Ops 2 and says, I'm the captain now. Brain Rot, Damien Groth, Ethan, Gerald on High, Ginger Boy Head Ass, Headmaster of the ongoing Nipple Academy, there I fixed it, you happy Austin, Huragog Rossum, I'm not crying, I just have nanotech in my eyes. I'm huffing the ongoing methane tanks. Laughing Sam, Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing, waking me up at 3 a.m.? Sir. I pissed the bed. Pity 104, The Chaplain. This is Clem Fandango. UNSC Pharaoh Raccoon, Vermin, Apple I don't want to allow for Christmas, Apple 201, Boomerang. Can't read that one yet. Claude Spark 5970, Coyote, Dangle, Muskrat has been contained. Total losses include 6 Mac rounds, 27 Havoc nukes, 2,300 personnel, and 1 bonkin stick. The muskrat is that the end? Are we done with the muskrat?
That sounds about right.
I hope not. I like the dang old muskrat.
I mean, that much ordnance, that's about average.
Dragon Fire, Drunk Silvari, Fish Dough, Halo Lo-Fi makes my ears lactate.
Ew.
I hate this word now.
I want to beat my head off this mic.
I used to not hate this word so much.
What have we done? Or not
what have I done?
Not what have we done. What has Gator done?
I call this move the Ongoi Reach Around. Iskari, John Halo, and the Black Box of Defiance. That's funny. That's a good one. Kiriko, Holy Mad Jeremy, Mike, Nara Nomad, Nova 6, move out. Wait, no, Noble 6. Papa Emeritus the 5th, Pasta Rocket Mechanic, PFC Dustin Echoes, Ryan Hansen, Sergeant Johnson Stick, the Unal Rock, Spartan Alex 30, that's a lot of hammer for a big hammer, man. Ungoy Schnugens, Ungoy spelled UN-GOI. Wilma, would you like yodeling pickles? Yes. And last, but never least, Captain Warm Apple Smiles.
Last but never least.
Never least. Never. Not even once. Even whenever he moves his username up by changing his first letter to a C instead of a W. So, before we get on to the questions, I got messaged saying that I have to do a Starscream impression.
From who?
From Spinus Iridia.
Thanks, Spinus Iridia.
So let's see. He said, I got your Starscream quotes for the live show. I won't be able to be there today, but I can't wait to hear your impression. Okay. I don't even, I'm supposed to be doing, I don't even remember the G1 voice too much, so I'm just going to wing it because I got that confidence in me. So let's see. One line goes,
Victory is made of the ashes of one's enemies.
There's another one is,
I, Starscream, am now leader of the Decepticons.
There's also,
You are a fool, Megatron.
There's also,
My time will come.
There's also,
I have been a fool, made mistakes, monumental ones, but I have gained a clear understanding of my place in the universe, of who I am, Starscream, aligned with no side, servant to no one.
baller, bars.
I swear the new movies kind of made him seem like a coward.
Yeah, he actually normally is.
Okay.
He's kind of like,
Oh, Megatron, I hate that guy. Megatron's a really big problem. I hate Megatron. Oh, hi, Megatron. How are you?
Don't kill me.
Starscream, you fool.
Esherum?
no.
Esherum is all the way down here.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
I hate you. That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Key.
Lastly, I have one more line that I was given.
I will rule the universe, even if I am the only one left in the universe.
I was waiting for an insult just thrown at us with that one last line that you just decided to throw in.
I do like the Prime version of his voice probably the most. I don't even remember it entirely, but I just remember that I liked it, the whole like,
Oh, Lord Megatron. Thank you for not killing me immediately. I am very weak and thin. Have you been bulking lately?
but anyway.
There you go, Spinus Radio.
I couldn't even tell that was Steve Blum. I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. I really couldn't tell. I gotta be real on that. But anyway, I'm not reading that. Steve, I'm not reading that. Absolutely not. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, that one's kind of funny. that was a little bit funny. There's some stuff happening in chat.
There's some things happening.
Well, have you? Question mark.
Chat is being chat.
Oh, you guys are missing out by not tuning into the live shows. Whoever's listening right now, you're really missing out.
Tune in.
You could really get the Patreon segments for free if you tune in.
Yeah, shut up.
He's refusing because no.
Answer the question.
I've been sparksing. That's different.
Someone said that joke. It wasn't mime
No,
thing.
I know. I saw it.
Yep.
That non-answer is a yeah. That's messed up, dude.
I'm sure you're gonna get clipped anyways.
Yeah, at some point probably. All right, so let's do some Q&A, shall we? We don't have any time to do the live Q&A today because we have to immediately after this hop over to Unlocked and Loaded if you want to start looking for an achievement. So, first...
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
I hate how I said that.
Answer the question.
Well,
Well,
you
that's...
guys didn't laugh.
No, because like you weren't the kid that said the joke louder in the back of the room.
I just looked down and saw it. All right.
That's what I did, and I said it, and you guys just didn't.
Well,
no one bats an eye.
Well, yeah, I looked at it second. So what?
Connor, say a number.
12. I'm kidding. 8.
I've said it every time it's Shane's turn. Eight's fine.
There's no turn. He's the one that says the number. You contribute to the entire episode. He barely has anything to say. This is his only chance.
Okay, so I can go home then.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
10.
Okay.
10.
The
I
crossroads.
think I did like 9 for 3 weeks straight.
You did. Sprite plus Fexa asks, y'all played Destiny 2? If so, what's y'all
Been a
classes?
good while.
I'm a hunter, but I don't play the game because I don't like it.
I don't remember what I was.
You were a warlock.
I played by myself for longer than I should have.
I mean, the game was great back in D1 when it was just out.
It was fun at first, but
Are you gonna get him off?
I played with a friend of mine who was like
You know what I'm referencing.
Yes, I do.
I played with a friend who was like really deep into the game. I'm like, I can't catch up. I'm done.
No, he made it very not. It was not accessible. Driz800 asks, you may have answered this before, so I'll make it a little more interesting. But top 3 weapons from the Gears of War series.
Ooh.
That's the hard part because I don't actually remember them, so I'm gonna have to just go off of their generic thing. Sniper was my number 1.
Oh, God, I don't know if I could rank. I can definitely put a top 3, but I don't know if I could rank.
Can I pick the enemy's weapons?
Yeah.
Grind.
I was gonna say, give me the Mauler's chain gun, the Boltok pistol.
The Boltok, really?
Yeah. Oh, I love that thing.
I was not expecting a
I was
pistol.
headshotting everything with that pistol.
Oh, is that the revolver?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
If we're sticking to the campaign, oh man, it's so hard to just pick. Give me the sniper. I feel like is a typical, and so is the lancer. Lancer's a retro lancer. I love the retro.
Oh, the
lancer.
retro one. Yeah, that was goated. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Hammer of Dawn for an honorable mention. It is what it is.
The one time you use it in Gears 1. How about you, Shane? You played it.
Question again. Sorry, I was looking for an achievement.
Imagine. Your top 3 favorite Gears of War weapons. We did a couple enemy weapons.
Yep.
The boom shot.
Yeah, definitely gonna go there. Because does the Hammer of Dawn count?
It does.
I'm taking Hammer of Dawn.
It is a weapon.
Taking the boom shot.
Fun fact, the Hammer of Dawn is a ship in Halo.
And then the different Lancer. What is the other Lancer? Was?
Retro Lancer.
Yes.
He just brought that up too. That's perfect.
The Retro Lancer. That's the one with the bayonet, right?
Yeah.
I like the Retro Lancer.
That one's so sick.
There's so many good guns. This is such a hard list.
It's
to
a
put
goated
together.
game series. I can't wait for
Honorable mention is the Nasher.
Oh, you're so right. Anything that can give me some good jibs.
Some
The
jibs.
sawed off when you are in range and it hits. Beautiful.
I've seen clips of competitive Gears of War online and people just like
Oh,
cover
gosh.
swapping
Yeah,
with
wall
the
to wall.
If I seen someone wall coming at me with a Nasher, I'm just white flag. I'm like, what?
I had a buddy of mine. I had a buddy of mine in college who played competitive
He was
Gears.
probably a demon, wasn't he?
Watching him play was insane.
Oh, yeah.
it was nuts. He was also really good at fighting games.
I watched Nick Merckx play it the other day as well, and it's intense. It's crazy.
I'm gonna shout him out. Shout out to A. Kells.
Sick. Turbo Furby is back and asking, a long ways back, you guys did an episode on the history of the Arbiters. Would there be perhaps an episode on the various keeps, Vidam Keep, Mandama Keep, etc., of the Sanghelios in the future?
That's up to you.
Well, I mean, do you guys find that topic interesting?
I would
'Cause
do it.
I'm not the only host.
No, I would do it. I feel like we should save that for when James is back, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Do you-
I will say my pieces.
Do you like talking about elites or no?
I mean, brutes are cooler.
I'm sorry to say, Connor, to spoil one aspect of the Halo fan game video that dropped today. I do address that there is a brute fan game, and it got abandoned.
Oh no!
Someone get on it. Someone listening in our Discord or just listening in general, make a Brute fan game for this man and let him voice act for it.
Doesn't matter what it is that he's doing. Just make the man a brute. Sprite plus Fexa is back again. Marvel Rivals main and why it's not Groot or Rocket.
Star-Lord, Captain America. I was good with Hela for a little bit. Mostly Star-Lord.
I played Groot for a while.
I was good with Luna as well if I wanted to play support.
Then who's the healer that I played?
Probably Luna. You played Luna.
Was it Luna?
Luna's like one of the easier ones.
Oh well. I uninstalled that game.
I don't play Marvel Rivals.
You missed out. You missed out on its prime.
I was gonna say
It's still in its prime,
It has reached a record low on Steam player count.
and it is still higher than Overwatch 2.
It is. I think they were at like 60,000 the other day.
That's crazy. That's still a lot more than every other game.
Oh, that's not true.
Not every other, but it's still very, very high.
But yeah, no,
who are
that's pretty decent.
People who are still playing Overwatch 2 are just financially invested at that point.
And also, I don't usually go off of Steam charts or anything because they're still console players.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't take away from my point is they lost a lot of players, and like doesn't matter how many they have left, they lost a lot of players. Still,
They did indeed.
I think the game is fun. I do, but I also think it's slightly overrated.
It will be a very long time before it dies.
TF2 will stand above it.
It has outlived all these games. Schnoogans the Redacted asks, what's the most interesting thing that has happened to each of you to date?
Being born,
That was interesting.
gaining consciousness around the age of 5, I think. From ages 1 to 4, you're just kind of
We're just going for the actual scientific answer.
yeah. I mean, ages 1 to 4.
I still remember my first thought.
No, you don't.
I do. My earliest thought that I have ever had that I'm like actually like I know it's my first because it's so stupid.
You're like, damn it.
No, like here's the thing, right? My dad used to mow the lawn on this like one of those like 4-wheeler lawnmowers, and I had my own little toy 4-wheeler when I was like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this vivid memory of me following him on my little 4-wheeler, looking at him from behind, looking down at the grass and going, whoa, I'm following him in my head. And that was my grand opening to my brain.
I would say two of my moments I don't even want to like say on air. I told you the story of one of them.
Yes.
I have to think back to sports. Most interesting moment. That's hard. That's a tough one.
This is the hard thing for me is trying to decide interesting moment in relation to me or most interesting moment because of me. Like, is it where I am or what I'm doing?
I just think it's just in general.
Because those two things really.
I think something that the first thing that came to mind for me was me and you getting in trouble in 2017.
That was fun.
Yeah, I think I think me and Connor we got into a little bit of trouble in 2017, having a little bit of a house party. I think that's the most interesting
I've heard the tales.
you've had. It was a great time. I have no regrets.
Address was leaked.
Yeah, we had a. I knew it was kind of crazy. Like again, we were seniors in high school, and some grown man came up to me and Connor. It was like, hey, good party, boys. I look at Connor, I'm like, you ever see that man before? Connor's like, I've never seen that man a day in my life. Like there's just hundreds of people there. But no, that was interesting.
Going back to school after that happened was very interesting.
Oh yeah, I wish I went to high school with you for that. They would have had to roll out the red carpet for us for that one.
Dude, I had people on Twitter like free my last name.
Oh yeah, I had people like come up to me and ask. There was teachers talking about it.
Dude, I was sitting in detention at one point. And people would just say free. I'm not airing out my last name, but free Connor, free Connor.
I might have doxed myself. Did I say the name of the high school?
Yeah, you did.
Did you? Okay, I was gonna say key that. But yeah, I'll say that. I'll put that up there. That's probably one of the more. It just it took a very unexpected turn, and like that's like the first thing that came to mind. It's either that, or maybe going to HCS for the first time is up there for sure.
That was cool.
That just I did not ever anticipate I'd ever be able to do something like that in terms of money and time and scheduling. I didn't think I'd be able to do that.
To be honest, I'm kind of just going I'm trying to think of all the different things that happened when I was employed with that one Japanese company.
Oh, and I figured you said, like, getting married would be up there.
It wasn't all that interesting.
Oh, okay.
It was much more interesting later that night, but it was it was a wedding. I liked it a whole lot. It was really fun.
I mean, that's a given.
I had a great time with it, and I loved it. I loved every second of it. It wasn't the most interesting because we both were boiling lava hot in this summer sun. I'm out here in a black suit, standing in the sun.
Doing your rehearsal the day before was terrible.
Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, that was awful.
And I was standing outside for like 2 hours waiting for this chick to come out. So like,
oh yeah, that.
I just wanted to eat my food, eat my cake, and go.
The actual wedding wasn't that bad because the actual wedding was inside, but it was the rehearsal that was awful.
The wedding was out. We just walked inside afterwards. It was pain. You might not remember because you got heat stroke or something.
No, that was James. Or that might have been David. I think David. No, the wedding was outside. That's right.
It was.
But
it was pain.
Yes, but that honestly, in terms, the rehearsal took longer. Going inside,
did, yeah.
Going inside made the actual wedding like that was okay. Like we at least got some relief, air conditioned, some drinks.
The most interesting part about my wedding was definitely when they spoiled the fact that I had a Halo cake. Because they stuffed us into the reception area for some reason, and you saw it first. You were like, "Is that a Halo cake?" And I'm like, "Huh?"
Wait a minute, no.
And then you just started drinking the beer out of the the little chute. What was it? The dispenser. Because you were like, "I need a drink." That was amazing. But no, it wasn't the most interesting thing. I think honestly, I would go for anything that happened at the Japanese company. Like the top three things there, one of them was most certainly going and attending an event called the MizCon 220 because my company was owned by a company called MizCon, same company that owns Ragu, Bertoli, all of them. And they had this massive event celebrating 220 years of the company's existence, and they had they had people flown in from Japan. There were old ass sushi chefs that were making salmon that could melt in my mouth, and I was very surprised about that. These fancy,
real sushi,
really popular. This like Japanese. I don't know what it's called, so I'm not going to try to guess it. But it's like this drumming style that's really really cool. And then of course seeing my work getting displayed in front of all these really important people was really neat. But along with that, maybe. Making a cooking show with Alex Caruso from the Chicago Bulls was pretty dope.
Ooh. Actually, I don't mind him anymore.
No, I thought it was really funny how the one time that I attended a game when
you can't ever attend a professional sporting event ever again.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, it won't ever get that. I think you might have been out of town a few years ago for it.
What happened?
I brought him in for when we did our little gift exchange thing a few years ago. I bought him and James tickets to a Cavs game to go with me. It was Cleveland versus Chicago. Alex Caruso was on the Bulls, and that was Donovan Mitchell's 71-point game. And that's like his very first. I'm like, it's never gonna.
My very first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 40.
You're very watching. You didn't attend, but you watched.
I watched it. Yeah,
yes.
Every time, and I was just making jokes. Undertaker.
Your standard for WrestleMania is going to be extremely high. Don't have it that high. That's the advice I'll give you.
Too late.
I picked my moment.
What'd you do?
So, back in college, we had a book report due.
Woo!
And we had to sit.
Slow down, you party animal.
Hold on. It gets better. I promise.
And I did it. I completed it.
I did, however. So we were sitting in front of the class. It was supposed to be like a panel style. A friend of mine who I played football with is like, "Yo, you do that book report?" I'm like, "What book report?" Oh. So I have like an hour to prepare for this book report. And I'm working on it like as we're sitting in front of everyone in the class. Like,
dear Lord,
the person before me takes one of my questions. So I'm sitting there scrolling through, just trying to find something. Because once it was my turn to go, he kind of took my question. BS that he didn't really, but I don't remember it that well. Like the kid next to me sitting there helping me, like telling me what page to go to and whatnot. Eventually, I had nothing. It was my turn to speak. I had nothing. And I just go read something straight from the book. And I go, and how do you guys feel about that? Or how was your guys' reaction to that? And the professor goes, That's a great question, Connor.
Yeah, so basically,
Bro knew you didn't do it.
Yeah, no, she genuinely thought it was a good question. My friend in the back of the class knew everything was going on. I see him losing his shit. The kid next to me was like, no way. Like,
This is working. This is working.
this is how you become a good presenter, by the way.
I end up getting a B on that. I'm like, I should have failed that.
That's
By
amazing.
all means. It was, honestly, to this day, my best academic performance right there.
Surprised no one said this. Honorable mention: us getting our own beer.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was pretty all right.
they hit their brew pub. Hey, we heard your most recent episode. We're not having you guys back ever. Just all right.
I can't remember who it was. Might have been Hammerbush or
So fun that he showed up.
one of the. I think it might have been Default. I think. They're like, so what's it like just doing all this and getting your own beer? I'm like, it's weird.
Yeah.
How does this make you feel? I'm like, it feels really weird. Like, this is insane.
I'm glad they asked you, because if they asked me, I'd be like, it feels like it worked. It paid off, huh? Only months of planning. I'm glad that it worked out this way. This is exactly what I wanted.
Let's see what people are saying.
Honorable mention for my most interesting moment, aside from all the work stuff, definitely when I have a lot of moments from Chicago, but among them, I was walking late night one day. I don't remember why I was walking with this chick, but I was walking with some chick from college. I was like walking her home or something because she didn't want to walk home alone. And while we're walking there, we're in downtown Chicago, like River North, so like really bad when it gets out at night. And there's this homeless guy walking with a shopping cart, and when we're walking by, he reaches under the shopping cart. So obviously I'm like, okay, it's about to get real and it's about to go down. So shove chick to the side, get up close to this guy, realize this dude is pulling out a sword. Oh, forged out of a fence post, by the way. Because you can see the riveted holes in the handle. And I'm like, I'm about to get smited. I'm like, this homeless dude is about to actually wipe me off the face of this earth with a sword.
I gotta address Fat Batman here.
Please.
I did not read that book.
Yeah, we spent like 20 minutes on that one question.
That's because it's a great question.
No, it was. It was good to reminisce a little bit.
Yes, good times. All right, so next up, Keith G077 is asking, do you think there are Forerunner and Scylla running around that we haven't met yet? Oh, yeah, of course.
100%.
Definitely.
Yep.
Next question. Schnoogans the Redacted is back asking, what's the most interesting thing that happened to each of you today? What's the most interesting thing that happened to each of you today?
I missed out on a job opportunity making very good money because I don't live in Kentucky.
You're not willing to move?
No.
Oh.
No.
You wanted that bad, I guess.
Slow down there. Slow down there. At least know what you're talking about before you start saying crap like that.
I say it jokingly, but I
know you were joking.
Yeah, all of my job applications that I mark will travel. I almost moved to France.
We'll not be relocating.
Because if Warframe hired me like they were hopefully going to do, I would have moved to France happily.
I would say today I was working with someone. They were having a hard time getting through the workout, and I'm like, I'll start throwing Dragon Ball lines at you.
That's funny. Did you?
I didn't.
Dang.
It is now time to go even further beyond. That was
another 10 pounds.
That was a lie I was going to hit him with.
Most interesting thing that happened to me today.
Most agreeable sentence, Fat Batman.
I guess I didn't sleep. Is that interesting?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm highly functioning when I don't sleep.
Francis Stan.
So there you go. And I'm fine, by the way. It's not like I'm doing it because like I have no control over it. It was a strategic thing. I'm going to be driving tomorrow from here to Kansas. 12-hour drive. I would rather just like knock out tonight, sleep through the entire night until the morning, and then just...
And you're bringing a snake back with you.
Yeah.
Wait, what's going on with this? What?
We're getting a snake.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What kind?
I don't know.
Oh.
Cheyenne told me, I forget.
Rat?
No.
Oh.
It's just... what's a what?
Rat snake.
Rat snake.
Oh, no.
You thought he was bringing you're bringing a rat too?
Yeah, I thought for some reason he thought I was just talking about a rat. Like it was, I'm like, what are you talking? No, I said snake.
Rat snake.
Next question comes from lactating Shanosaurus. asking, this is a long one, if you could make a prop of anything in the Halo universe to display in your home, what would it be?
High charity.
1-to-1 scale.
2 scale.
2 scale. I'm sticking with that. I want high charity. I want a drunk drive high charity.
Hey, they said props, so you're just going to have a giant piece of...
I want to practice to drunk drive high charity.
Have fun spending a week getting up to the...
Oh, it'd take
cockpit.
longer than that. On a realistic note, I will take a mantis.
It's still he said prop. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not real. Where you putting it?
Prop mantis.
Put it in my backyard. I
I
don't know,
think-
man.
Wait, did the question say in house?
Like if it's
In your
actual,
home.
if it's actual size.
In your home. It says in your home right there.
But what about my property? Does my property count? I'm still going with a mantis. I'll put it in my backyard. I don't care.
I'm going to just take a helmet. I'll just take a helmet. I'm good.
Hammer.
Who could have known? Oh, Connor, you know, if I can get you to the Halo Museum, we got to see if you can lift the accurate weight gravity hammer they have there.
How much does it weigh? Do you know?
No, but it is made out of solid metal.
Someone in the chat's got to know.
Laird probably knows if he's still here in the chat. Next question.
Oh.
Wait, the message continues. Also, thanks for the shout out on C9 of the Slush, Austin. Knowing I was one of your oldest listeners is really cool. I found the library in episode 40 when you went into depth about Jewel and Dama. Ever since then, I've been hooked, and I've listened to every episode. Do you remember what numbers were like back then in terms of listeners, followers, etc.? Yes, I do, very well, because this is. Even though I do this show for fun, I also try to, at least to some degree,
It's
optimize.
hard. It's hard not to look at all the numbers.
Yes, and
Anytime you bring them up, it's like, ooh.
see, the fun part for me is not just looking at the numbers; it's understanding them. How do you get them higher? How do you get the listeners to stay engaged? You know, you play around with that. It's a really fun thing to do.
I like thinking about the numbers and then like thinking about like a high school game capacity.
Yeah. I do love how you use that as the direct comparison. It's so fun. So
Puts into perspective on how many people are listening.
episode 40 was around when about 10 episodes after you hopped on, Connor.
Did someone say something about
So around I remember it. So around that time, I think we were pulling because right now we're pulling about 20,000 listeners a month, which is cool. And I think at that time we were pulling maybe 5,000.
What are we at now?
I just said 20,000 a month.
Sorry, I was reading chat.
It goes up and down, and we've peaked I think before at 25,000.
Oh my god,
Yeah, quite a few.
that's a lot of people.
Although I'm caught up on the library, I still have a lot of Chatternet to get through. Unacceptable, I know. Yes, it is. All right.
Only listen to the slush.
I think we've got, since these ones seem really quick, we got 5 more. First of all, who would win, 100 Connors or 1 Brute?
The brute. Yeah, right.
Well, I think the brute might win.
But come on, Connor. Central Hive Mind, Connor?
Maybe.
100 of you would be pretty overwhelming.
What?
But this is a brute we're talking about. Like one swipe. Like hope he gets tired.
Connor, what would happen if there were 100 of you that all shared
Dude,
a hive
what would
mind?
happen if there was 100?
Dude, what would happen?
The hive mind thing, that would be
You guys
dangerous.
are all
That would be dangerous. That'd be I
all
would be
on
up
the same
I would be up
page.
to some tomfoolery. Like imagine all 100 of me just standing around your apartment.
Of course you would use it to harass me. Got it.
I'd harass everyone. Shane, you're not safe either.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
There's just hundreds of rocks being thrown at your window.
No, imagine just you're in the gym and all of a sudden there's just 100 me's just doing the you gotta do it to him pose while you bench.
They walk in single file and just...
Start doing it to me.
Sprite plus Vexa is back
That's horrifying.
asking again, favorite dinosaur?
100
Iguanodon.
100
That's a unique one. I don't hear that one.
100
He's a
Connors
dinosaur.
doing Dick Hammer
Disney.
Bush.
Disney's
Oh, yeah.
That's Aladar. Aladar's an iguanodon.
That's awesome, actually. That's
and
a
it
great
made and I for a while I liked a Carnotaurus, but then I realized that's not what a Carnotaurus looks like.
Darn.
Was the question favorite dinosaur?
Yes.
Oh man. What was the dinosaur that I played as in that dinosaur game? The one
The
that,
Isle.
yeah, the one that took forever to grow. The
You-
Spinosaurus?
No, Giga. I think
Giga,
were you a
Yeah,
Giganotosaurus?
Giga, that thing.
I think, honestly, I don't have a favorite. I have a favorite feature. Give me any dinosaur that has a thagomizer. I'm good.
Whatever the thing, whatever the one is, it walks on 2 legs and has like the long horn going through the back. I forget what it's called.
Oh, that thing, yeah.
I don't know, anything with armor.
Ronnie Boy quickly asks, favorite concert you've been to?
Not a concert, a festival. Sonic Temple last year.
I think I've only been to like 2 concerts.
Last year at Sonic Temple, I got to see Sleep Token. I got to see Pantera. And there was a few other bands. This year, that is probably going to be taken up this year in Kentucky. I'm going to Louder Than Life. I'm going to see Breaking Benjamin for the 3rd time. Going to see Sleep Token for the 2nd time. Avenged Sevenfold, I'm going to see them. I'm going to see Hollywood Undead. I'm going to see Dragon Force. You know who Dragon Force is?
Of course I know what Dragon Force is.
No, see Through the Fire and the Flames live, and I'm going to be unbelievably lit. And I'm going to be playing my Guitar Hero air guitar the whole time, acting like I could do that, even though I definitely couldn't.
No.
So Louder Than Life in September of this year is probably going to be my favorite quote-unquote concert festival that I'll ever be to.
Say, out of the... Oh, God, I've been to 3 concerts, actually. That one was horrible. It was Adam Levine. I did not enjoy that.
Why'd you go to an Adam Levine
It
concert?
was a family thing.
Okay, I was going to be like, that's not your flavor at all.
No. Like, I just stood in the stadium and just, yep.
That's Adam Levine.
That's it.
My honorable mention, I seen Slipknot in Cleveland in 2023.
I want to say that Paul McCartney called them not.
Yeah. And then other honorable mention, I saw Alice in Chains and Korn at
The fact that Keith went to a Skrillex concert makes me jealous. But anyways, I think you'll like my answer, Austin. I went to a Flux Pavilion concert.
I love Flux Pavilion. Is that actually your favorite one?
The concerts I've been to, yeah.
Wow.
It's
I've
funny.
Not
You went
been
to-
to many concerts.
You went to Lost Lands, though?
No, it was not Lost Lands.
Oh.
I want
It's
to
fun.
go to Lost Lands. I horribly want to go to Lost Lands so bad.
One of my favorite artists, Lemonade, is playing there almost every year now. I really want to go.
It's funny that
was there last
I've only been to, out of all my concerts, I've only been to one rap concert. I saw 21 Savage at Blossom last year.
How'd they fit that many guys on stage?
Just move on.
That's a lot of savages.
Next question.
So, not yet. I haven't answered.
Okay, we'll answer. Please.
There was, I wouldn't really call it a concert, more just a live show because it was in a club in Chicago. But Virtual Riot. I made sure that the first concert / show I ever went to, on my own volition, because I went by myself, was Virtual Riot. Now, the thing is that I'm not a concert guy. I don't really like being in mosh pits. I don't like being in the crowds. I get worried with people. So I stay elevated. So this club was nice. It had a second floor landing, and I was basically up there alone.
I was on.
I know how you are. I'm aware. I'll be happy to watch you have a good time. But.
I feel so bad for the 5'2" woman that just absolutely ate my shoulder. I mean, what I did to this woman was something that I would have done to someone in football. Like, I looked up and saw what was coming. I'm like, oh no. I laid this woman out, and I flattened her. I absolutely just destroyed.
Later, this audio will be released out of context, and Connor will get allegations put against him.
I felt so bad. Like, she hit the ground. I don't know how hard she hit the ground. I was out of it, but I like stood over top of her just to make sure no one else kind of like stomped on her. We got her up. I said I was sorry. She's like, it's okay. I'm like, okay, no way you're sober.
when I was at Sonic Temple this year, there was a dude who was like, he was clearly off something, and he was kind of just bouncing around a little bit. And he was behind me with his girlfriend, and like he bumped into me a few times, and I was just like brick wall. Like he kept trying to bump into me, and I just wasn't moving. And then it's like they were trying to mosh because I think it was Mastodon who was on, and people get crazy for Mastodon. And,
of course.
And his, I turn around, and his girlfriend, like 4'11", like trying to like shove me. I'm like, don't do that. She keeps trying to shove me, and like I'm like, ugh. Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I guess let's Maj.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, someone tried to pull me into the crowd. There was a guy that was half naked that ran out of the crowd and then ran up to the second floor landing, grabbed me by the shoulder, and was just like, "You gonna join us?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Okay," and then turns around and runs back down. And
There was this one dude there at the Flux Building concert. He had those little light up balls on strings and was
That's awesome.
swinging them around. He had his own circle around him, because obviously. But
yeah, see, that's the thing. That's why I enjoyed being on the second floor landing. I could see everything. I could see what everyone was doing, and I could experience what everyone was seeing there.
But you're not experiencing it.
I'm experiencing it in the way that I prefer. I would not have fun in the mosh pit.
I think you would.
I wouldn't. I hate crowds.
You telling me you wouldn't want to body someone?
No.
Whether or not if they're like 5'2" female and like 110 pounds?
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't, because I enjoy, especially electronic music. I don't enjoy it because it makes me go crazy. I enjoy it because I like the story behind it. I enjoy the visuals. I enjoy watching my favorite artist go crazy behind his awesome podium. I can't do that if I'm trying to prevent myself from getting taken out by, Braun Breaker.
Oh no! If I see some dude who's like 6'6" and like 250, I've been there before. It's not fun, but yeah.
Some call me boring. I like to call myself just more artisan, I guess, in my interests.
Out of the few festivals I've gone to over the last few years,
Keith, I am one of those
it
psychos.
depends on who is on stage. Like, I'll go back and forth. Like, there was a few bands this year. I forget what it was. One of the earlier bands, like really early on in the lineup. Like, me and my buddies got like right against the front gate, and that was fun, and we got crazy there. But like later in the evening, like we were further back. Like, the more you walk around at these festivals and the more you get tired, the more you're just sitting there baking the medium rare in the sun, the more like, yeah, I don't want to be in the big crowd over there.
Yeah, you weren't hydrated enough.
No, I was definitely hydrated.
No, you weren't.
I was.
Not in the sense I'm talking.
What? I don't know what you...
What else do you drink at concerts?
I mean, I drank. I had alcohol in my system. If that's what you want me to say,
Not enough. You can feel the heat.
that's don't take advice from Connor, everybody. Please don't.
Next question comes from Senator Fox. We have two more to go. You think you could drift high charity if you really tried?
Yes.
Yes.
If it's got...
The heavier the object is, yes, the easier it is.
I'll turn high charity horizontal.
I want to tandem drift with someone.
I'll turn them sideways.
Lactating Shanosaurus carries us out for the last question. If you were an ODST fire team, what would each of your specialty roles be? Also, can they pickle yodel? Yes, it can. I'm not going to get it. I just can't.
Steve, I will say that was a young me though. I can't do that anymore. I can't drink like that anymore.
We had a fan. What was it? It was a fanfic that someone made of us as an ODST fire team. I don't remember what our roles were.
I was explosive
I was a
expert.
sniper.
You were. Yeah. Why were you this?
That was such
I mean,
like a
Battlefield 4, sure.
Yeah, that was like the most misaligned role.
He was a good sniper in Battlefield 4. What do you mean? I remember him being pretty good.
No, he was one of those people that would put a 40-time scope on, sit in the carrier, and try to get headshots.
Yeah, could you get those shots?
I have several clips of me getting those.
Yeah, whatever.
One map.
I doubt it.
I only did that on one map.
And that was
was
Gulf
pretty-
of Oman.
No, it was not Gulf of Oman. It was
Then you've done it on more than one
It was
map.
transmission.
No, it was a naval strike map. I don't remember the name of it.
I hate you.
But
1,942 meters.
regardless, if we went off of our Ghost Recon Wildlands roles, which I would probably prefer, this dude's actions as a rifleman were fantastic, and as backup explosives.
I wanted to use an LMG, but you couldn't silence them.
There is one that you can. You just didn't have it.
Yeah.
But we got to get you that. I was just the leader. I don't know what it is. Just when it comes to tactical things, I just often am. And then James was our explosives guy. James was our sniper, and Shane was our like half explosives guy / marksman.
We chose not to use that explosive rifle, didn't we? I don't remember.
Explosive rifle?
Isn't there like an explosive sniper rifle?
That's
in
our
that game?
25 jungle.
Well, that's not explosive. It's just a really broken gun. We did agree to not use that, though, yes. And instead went for other things.
To have it be known,
It was a good time, though. That would probably be our rules. But anyway, with that all being said, that's pretty much all the questions. Like I said, we don't have any time to go into the live questions today, unfortunately. But
to Turbo Furby, the close quarters update was gas.
for those of you who are in our live, you can just kind of stick around after we're all done for us to get into our Unlocked and Loaded with Shane.
Yeah.
And then
We'll be kind of be here.
yeah, and then we'll be headed out after that. But for those of you who are listening right now, over there on Thursday, Terminals is back. So tune in to Patreon because Terminals will be available to every single patron member. And also, your support means a whole lot. It helps bring things to life. It helps do things like make stories from Waypoint happen 2 times a month like it's doing now. So if you ever question if the oh my gosh, I see the one. I don't know why that's so funny to me. But if that's something that you're interested in helping us bring a whole lot of new ideas to life, we always use the funding in a smart way to make some really cool creative things. There's some really fun stuff that we're working on right now that I can't wait to reveal to you guys either later this year or next year. So thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you guys next week with maybe board games. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Thank you.